Welcome to another episode of Inside Trial Minds, where we dive deep into the minds of our nation's top-ranked attorneys, how they think, how they fight, and how they ultimately win their cases.
What you try to do, and you have to do this very subtly, because it's called jury nullification. You can't nullify the case. So what you say is, presume this is somebody that was in your family. Put yourself in his shoes. What would you do? What would have been your reaction? How would you have handled the situation if you were sitting here as John is today? How would you feel sitting on the side of the interstate at 2:30 in the morning? What did he do wrong? He was a passenger in a car, and you just do it real suddenly.
So you see him, he's drowning in his vomit. And there's an autopsy, and there's food in his airway. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, if you ask me. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that makes it worse, but that's the gist of it. So this expert yesterday, his entire point he wanted to say was, but he would have died a week or 2 or months later, right? I mean, literally, he agreed, he conceded everything in the case, right? That he died from choking, that was something they gave him, all these things. But the entire defense was, well, all these comorbidities he has, he would have died within days or weeks or months. Who cares? Right? That's what it comes down to. Who cares? If that's your father, right? And you watch him on video choking to death,
they care.
And somebody walks away and doesn't pay attention, you think it matters that your dad was going to only live an extra week or 2 weeks or 6 months, right?
The chapter method, and so if you've done that work ahead of time, now when you go into the deposition, you know what you want to achieve from that witness. How can that witness help me tell my story? No matter how adverse they are, there's some part of this story that you can get them to tell for you. And it's much more effective having the defendant tell that part of the story than having your witnesses tell it.
Retaliation law protects you. Well, what kind of protection does retaliation law actually give you? It is true that if you file a complaint and your employer does something to retaliate against you, fire you, cut your hours, give you a hard time, the law protects you, but it protects you by giving you a legal claim. It doesn't protect you by giving you a paycheck on Friday.